Yo! What's going on, guys? This is Grimm Reaper bringing you guys another session. I believe it's episode 37, I think it is. 38, something like that. A bunch of them shits of the Boar podcast. We're back today covering 296, more of Nakaba Sensei's greatness. And I have a lot more of these Hero Association ass niggas. Today we have Manga Fairy.
Or not.
She flew away. No. that was perfectly timed.
And we got Nia D. Hemmings.
Yeah, it was good.
We got Soraya.
Hey.
And Kishin Prime.
Konnichiwa.
So,
but nothing about Zarso.
To get the chapter popping.
Nothing.
So let's start from the top of the Discord with our chapter ratings, quick thoughts and everything, and then we'll hop into it.
All right, now Zarso don't want to talk.
Wow.
I'm not going first.
The chapter was. Oh, wait, Kishin, you're next though, so you go.
Yeah. Overall, I like the chapter. It was definitely more wordy than we've gotten like the last couple weeks. So, like, my reaction was kind of a mess because I wasn't really sure who was talking some of the time. So, but overall, it was enjoyable. Got what I needed out of it.
It was alright.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's where I'm floating. Like a 7. It was fine. Nothing particularly blew me away. Nothing was like. I definitely skimmed through most of that dialogue though, because I'm reading it right now, high-key. But yeah, it was alright.
I think overall it's like whatever. It was like a.
What's that?
I'm sorry, someone's doing something stupid in the background for some reason.
It's him.
I'll give it overall a 7 out of 10. Nothing too crazy, but it was still pretty hype. Overall combat was pretty cool. I like the Merlin spell, and then Escanor just getting slapped up, man. Just it is what it is. And hey, you know what? You got the Cuck boys together, so that's cool.
Yikes!
Strongest guys in the world still cucks. Crazy. I think it's fantastic.
I think Manga Fairy's back.
She is. I had to call her back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That was so funny because as soon as he called upon you, you're just like, doo-doo. Like,
it kicked me out. It was so weird.
Oh, okay. Well, chapter thoughts.
Oh, I thought the chapter was like a nail biter, if you want to say. I know Hendrickson was like delivering a huge monologue, and though I was paying attention, I kind of just wanted to get back to the action. I did appreciate like his character growth, but that's a whole other thing. I was just like super intrigued with the whole premise of Escanor maybe dying, so I thought it was pretty good.
I like the little part at the end where little shows are like, I'm not into guys, right? And Henderson's like, oh yeah, bro, like don't worry, either am I.
Dude.
I was thinking about Soraya and Richardo, how they were talking about. I was like, oh yeah, remember how like Luda Show might have like that gay lover, and I'm like, hold on now, what? Come on.
And then, we find out who it is.
Yeah, finally we find out who he was.
It was first mentioned in 288. I had to go back and look just to make sure.
Was he like a friend? Does he actually have a name, or he's some random?
No, he's just a friend. Because, as already stated, he's not into dudes.
Like trying to revisit this dialogue is just as annoying as the first time, so I'm not gonna read.
Crazy.
Yeah, the middle was kind of a suck vortex.
I don't care what anything he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, like.
Yeah.
Personally, I kind of wanted him to just be the vessel and go ham, and then he's like, nah, and I'm like, oh, you piece of shit, like really?
Nigga, do the ratings, bro. We don't hold on, bro. We don't give a fuck what y'all niggas think right now. Fuck. It's supposed to be a quick
podcast. We're supposed
we
to
definitely all like said 7.
Yeah, seven for the most.
I know for a fact like 8 of us. Wait, 8 of us. Most of us said 7.
Oh, Soraya went down to a 6.
I'm giving it a 6 because Ludo and freaking Andy having that conversation. There's no way they can be friends. They only talk like 5 minutes? That's stupid. No, thank you. You gotta build upon a friendship. You can't say I'm your friend because I jumped in the way of attacks for you or some stupid crap. No, that's stupid. That's retarded.
That's
No, thank you.
That's
please don't say that.
classic toxic femininity. No, understand? I'm joking.
Yeah,
Oh.
you don't understand. You don't understand what like being being a true friend is about. Like, you know, like sometimes you get hurt. You know.
Brothers in arms. That's how all those.
Sometimes you take a bullet for your man, and now you friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how half
how
of
it
these
is.
animes cliche goes. That's how like it happens in real life and shit too. It's not too far fetched to have one big encounter be a thing. I didn't necessarily like super feel it that much either. I was kind of taken aback by the dialogue too. Like it was surprising. The rest of the chapter's pretty cool too to see. Meliodas has the commandments, so that's gonna be an interesting conversation.
Well, not yet. It's like on a time lock basically at the moment.
He's got the commandments.
Well,
We're inside the ship.
Still trying to get that done by the end of the
Yeah,
chapter. It wasn't
yeah, there's-
completed.
She's working on it.
Also, I kind of like the original demon, the sinner, whatever name he gets translated into. He's like fangasming. The birth of a new demon king has arrived.
So let's hop into the chapter then. I guess we could just start off from the beginning then. So I guess our initial thoughts last week on the Boar's Hat podcast about the OG demon maybe having some schemes planned with the commandments. I guess that didn't turn out to be the case. What do you
I'm
guys
kinda
think?
thankful.
Hmm?
I wasn't thinking about it in the first place, but I mean, you guys brought it up, and I was like, whatever. You know, it wasn't a big
You
issue.
base that on one damn panel.
That's what you guys always do.
I don't like.
Nobody
I
has
like.
any
I
more
didn't take
thoughts
it
on
like
that-
it's
on-
that
on
crazy or
that?
that serious. Everyone else was all like, "Oh yeah, like this is probably like a thing that's gonna happen." But it's like maybe, but like again,
Alright.
like that's
Just
it was a
fear.
stretch. It was a stretch. To be totally honest.
The next portion is you see the commandments hit the cocoon. When we were first told about it, I think it was like Meliodas said that with his feelings and then with the commandments to come together, that he's not going to be able to exist in the real world anymore. So, one thing that I was thinking about earlier today was whenever Mael took in multiple commandments, we didn't necessarily see the individual characteristics of them until they were displayed in a second, in a second form. So, do you think that the commandments from Meliodas are going to manifest in like a similar thing where they're like artifacts and effects like that, or should it be different because he's just a demon?
It's really up in the air.
Yeah.
I
Could
don't
be
know.
anything Nakaba wants.
Honestly,
Because we've not really
Really
seen
couldn't.
that much of the Demon King to like say, oh, well, have we ever seen him with the Ten Commandments? So there could be artifacts. There might not be. It could be a thing that he turns on and off at a whim. So yeah, up in the air big time.
Well, that's a question.
Like, what should we be expecting with our new Demon King? Like,
If we even get
appearance-wise.
to meet him.
I don't even know at this point.
Oh, with Meliodas?
No, I mean with all the commandments. I don't know.
Oh, he gonna be looking crazy.
Maybe we'll see some merging of commandments.
Good look
I'm-
crazy.
I'm hoping for a couple horns like the old man. Personally,
Maybe.
I want him to be at least
That
like
would be
50
kinda
foot
cool.
tall.
I
Just
want
like
him
his
to be
pops.
much taller.
1,000 feet tall.
Give him an adult body for me.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
like, you've had this child body too damn long. It's time to put some
The
hair on
children
that chest.
were adults.
oh,
Like,
pull a
have the
king,
cast of the
give him a whole new look and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
that,
like
yeah.
King. Just with a better hairstyle.
Honestly, Esterosa, the way he looks, was what I imagined like Meliodas would be older. You know, because
Yeah.
he looks so much like him.
Maybe we get a fake out. Like, the smoke clears and you think it's him. And then everyone's like, holy shit, he's going to look like his wanted poster finally. And then the dust clears and then he's like, hey,
Same as always. That would be so
Yep.
bad.
Yeah, definitely.
King, the next part we see is I guess everybody observing that like they were late to stop the commandments from arriving, but King and Merlin played a huge part in this chapter.
See,
So
why does King have like long distance telecommunication powers? Like he's not even there, and they're communicating somehow.
Well, he's always had
Didn't
a
Merlin
fair
just chaos
range.
control? That's my issue. Don't forget about what King just did. That's wrong. Merlin just chaos control. Like, nope. I'm like, oh my god. I forgot that happened. That happened. That made me mad. I think anything she does at this point just makes me mad.
Well, hey, now we kind of know maybe like she uses a version of this, and that's what's kept her like from aging.
That's exactly what that is. I don't get that, man. Like they
chrono
told us she
coffin,
was already
it's a
stopping her
spell.
time.
What's
What is wrong with her doing a spell on a larger scale to an object?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that's my thing. It's like, yo, it's like she's supposed to be the greatest, like archmage, mage, wizard, what have you in Britannia. She's been around for 3,000 years, like as long as Meliodas. But like while he was like out in the field being a meathead, she was like nose deep in like them books. Like what's wrong with her creating like some crazy ass spells? Like, come on, like for real.
It's a new year, new me. I have the essence of positivity in my body. We're not going to do this. You know what? You're right. I agree. It made a lot of sense. It was really cool, and Merlin is a dope character.
I was fine with it.
I like the way you said that.
I'm not saying you can't complain about it. I mean, like again, like like do bring up like why, but like it's like
she still needs time to complete it, so it's fine.
that too. Like that was like
Anything
another
can
thing that I
happen.
remember people talking about is that like she's pulling off like these high level spells with ease without like so much as like like a simple like wave of her hand, but like here she is like speaking her booga booga language and like still kind of like sweating and shit. And I'm thinking, well, damn, this must be some pretty crazy ass magic if you have to fucking like look like you're about to take a shit on like the battlefield. Crap.
I agree with
Let's
every
use her
point
last
you
resort.
just made.
Crazy. Now I'm pissed.
In the same panels, we get a very, very beautiful full body of Merlin. Breast all perked up as she's screaming, "It's far too soon to give up!" In her and she starts to chant the spell that conjures up the I guess the time spell, the chrono spell or whatever it was called.
Chrono coffin.
Best Merlin outfit
There you
all
go.
season or no? Excuse me, all series or no?
I liked her jacket with the fur trim.
Yeah, I did too.
On her neck. That was probably like the best one for Merlin. But this one's alright too, because it has the armor. I like armor pieces.
Remember when she was a floating ball? That was pretty cool.
That's her unlockable
That's
form.
just me.
Crazy,
Like,
crazy.
no.
That's wild.
That's it.
I don't know. I would like this outfit better if she had straps for her front, because it's like just stuck to her boobs and it looks weird.
No, it looks like
Well, it's
Oh,
no
that's
worse
crazy.
than those shoulder pads that just float there.
Yeah, true. I guess it's magic holding it up. Like
Listen,
always. All of her outfits.
stop ragging on.
No. She looks good, but no, I don't like the magic holding it up.
The first outfit and then this one she has on right now are pretty good. I'd like to say but the second one just like
says the forbidden art.
Wait,
chrono
hold
coffin.
on.
What's up?
You don't see Zeldris in the panel?
What the fuck?
This kid! Yo, I swear!
I swear! You don't see him? We won't let her? You don't see the goal?
Oh yeah, I forgot. They were out here too. They really weren't about to like let that happen. They were like on her ass too, like grass, bro. Like they were ready.
Young ominous Nebula? Come on.
Stop. You know he can't be pulling that kind of dumb shit right now.
So
Other
Now you
gamers
can
is finding right now.
from the context that we were given, it looks like chrono coffin is something that's gonna suspend the time of the cocoon. So, I guess she's stopping it in this current state. And do we have any predictions on like what is it gonna like? What's the countdown gonna be? Or anything like that? I know we were talking about before the last podcast that chapter 300 would be a great time for Meliodas to come out. So, is this a clock for 5 chapters or what?
what are we at? I'm thinking.
Well,
so.
it'd be
It'll
4
be
chapters.
less than
So.
that.
You know what? Probably because the number 3 is like a weird, mysterious number in this region of the world. So I wouldn't even be surprised.
he may start to like come out around 299, and then 300 is gonna already be out ready to fight. But by the end of like 299, he'll be coming out.
Okay, we'll see the bursting of the cocoon and shit.
Yeah.
Like, all right, facts. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Especially like this may just be like visuals, but the hour hand is on like it looks like it's splitting the clock into 4 portions. So 3 more ticks would technically bring it all the way back to the 12 mark. So that would be 3 more chapters. I would correlate with that too.
Yeah, it was on its way to the 6 o'clock position at one point.
That cut out or what? Am I good?
Yeah, you're fine now.
All right, that's what to say.
So it's like Nia was pointing out before, Zeldris and the OG Demon came to assault Merlin, but King with his single chastity fold and Escanor were able to defend against it. Any power scaling things you guys want to address from this, or not really?
Escanor is going down in power.
Well, he's not in his full power.
Yeah,
So.
and
Yeah,
Rita has been thrashed.
Like the sun's going down, so he's only getting weaker.
Exactly. So it's a nice downhill battle for him.
Yeah, it's not really like it's weird because like
uphill this case.
Like you can't like you could try to like like give him flack for it, but they have that defense where like, well, he's getting weaker by the minute if he was at full power. So it is what it is.
I like these getting his ass.
Yeah, it's a nice change of pace though.
About time, like really.
But you know what? We'll get there. We get there. But yeah, it'll a nice change of pace.
All right.
I think a character like these type of characters like I always say ESCANOR is my favorite use of this trope. A kind of badass character just comes and just does shit like this and wrecks. But I always think they always need one moment where they get humbled.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I'm fine with him being humbled by King.
except for your boy Urek, right?
What did Urek
never humble. Urek never humble.
He's top 3 in the tower. Who's never fighting humble. Him? No one's beating him. I said top 3. Sorry, 4. I'm sorry.
Getting back to it though. Yeah, I did like how Zeldris and them were about to, not just let that shit happen. Like they was like, nah, chill out, be like that. Nah, not today. And they really were for it too, but this like all this damage Escanor is taking out, I'm loving it. I really am. Like just all the blood, like one of like his eyes closed and everything. Yeah, that violence. Give me that violence.
He doesn't get his ass beat. He's gotten too many like tool victories.
Too many dubs.
Yeah, but that aside, I guess we'll ask the question in the stream. Have you forgiven Rudisil?
No.
Why?
Fuck no. Trash. Get out of here.
Essentially doing what he was trying to do.
I can't believe it. He's so whack.
Let's go from top to bottom.
Why is the window open? All right. Jesus Christ.
Go ahead. Kishin, did you
get yelled at on stream, bro?
Well, basically, I just see it as like he might be trying to redeem himself, but like I never really cared for the character to begin with.
He's got a long way to go for me.
Yeah, very. There is a mountain of sin that angel has to try and redeem himself for, and he can't pay for a pardon. So, yeah, like I see it as a start of a turn for him, but much more than that, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Next, fair.
Sorry, there's like someone's mic who like I can't really hear. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I agree. Like I think he has a lot to like make up for, but I think him choosing to not use Hendrickson as a vessel is like the first step in the right direction. But I don't know if he's gonna last through this fight either because of his astral protection. He even like doesn't really have faith in himself either. So I don't know. Like I can see his character growing and becoming like a good character, but like he still has a long way to go. So yeah.
I honestly don't give a damn. He trash. You can move on. Next.
I don't know. I'm just happy he didn't take over Hendy, you know? Because, like, I don't want him to die.
Excuse me? Stop. Like,
How
really?
could you not want him to
Really?
die?
Really?
You don't
liking
forgive
how
Rudisha,
Hendy
but you
is
forgive
taking it,
Hendrickson?
though.
Wow.
I don't like at this point. I figured everyone didn't care if Hendrickson gave his life up in the first place.
Hold on, let her finish.
No, I want him to live. Like, he's been through so much, so he needs
I
to...
think if anything,
Nigga, let her
it's
finish,
pain.
bruh. What the fuck?
That's fine. I don't mind.
No, go ahead.
Now I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh
Shit.
no.
Alright, whatever. You guys go on. I'll try to think of what I was gonna say.
What's up, Kisei?
Well, if we were still on the topic of what Sarai was trying to mention, the little interaction between Rude's, I can't even say his name, so I'm gonna call him Rude. It did Hendrickson. It was. I felt like it was so necessary for that little moment to spark, because I always appreciate when a mangaka can just go back and let the little minor characters, sometimes even the characters that are not even the main focus at the time, still have some relation to the chapter some way. And I'm glad how Hendrickson is carrying on this path. Like, I have to atone for what I've done, and I don't know how to do it. But if you have to offer up my body as a vessel to try to bring some, safety to this world, I'm willing to do it. I respect that a lot out of his character.
Yeah, he's earned my
that was So claps for him. Rude the same way. Like, he realizes, like, I've done some shit too. Like, that was so good. I felt like they had a moment to relate with one another. And then, this voice said, "Oh, by the way, I'm not even the dude." I'm like, dude, that's like, so that was good.
You need that clear up because you know how it be. You know how it be out here in anime. The minute you're in the same panel as your boy, and like they won't let you go. The slash writers won't let you go for shit.
Hey, fan fiction out.
Hashtag no slash writers.
Just in denial.
Fujoshi raw.
Denial. When I saw that panel, I was thinking about you, Sarai. I was like, yeah, here we go.
What about you, Grimm? Do you forgive him?
Yeah, Grimm.
I mean, this is obviously a moment where he's acknowledging his faults.
Psych! It don't matter! Crazy! What did you think? Come on now. War crimes. Nah, go ahead.
That's what just got me muted.
Going to the divine dungeon.
I was saying, obviously, this is a moment of him acknowledging his faults. I'm not necessarily sure if he's remorseful, though, because at the end of the day, it's the same exact thing with all these characters. These people are all doing it for a reason. So if anybody else doesn't apologize, for example, like Meliodas, if he doesn't apologize for all the things he's done in his journey for love for Elizabeth and people of that type of scenario, then why should a guy like this? It's just that whole like, do your ends justify your means type situation. So I honestly, I don't forgive any of these characters, from Meliodas down to fucking Hendrickson himself. I don't forgive any of them for the things that they've done. But I guess the acknowledgement of them having done wrong is what Nakaba's trying to like give to us. Now, I'm not sure if we should take that as like him saying, yeah, it's they're redeemed, because that would be cheap. But in the Minimalist, we're seeing them address the problems. I would want it to be on a much, much larger scale than this, because Rudiso literally killed an entire, like, he committed genocide. Like, we need more than just like him saying like, oh,
You know, like South Park, we're sorry. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that was the whole theme of the episode. They should have just called it sorry and like baffled us all.
I'm saying, like, I'm not even saying that, because like him saying sorry like is not going to change a thing. I'm just saying, like, you would think that there would be some other type of like retribution for that. Like Mael, like that was like, I think one of the only times where we got like clear retribution, revenge for drastic sin. Every other time besides that, it's been like drawn out, or like it's small retribution. Like I guess the Demon King is another example of this, where after Meliodas betrayed him, he punished him continuously now. But there's not many other times where Nakaba's given us people who commit grave sins and they're punished for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we might still see it because he still has to interact with his brother and stuff, and I think he'll probably die soon. So I don't know.
I get to see baby brother, and then sword through the chest, and then it's like,
Hey, I'd be
shit.
fine with that.
You would.
I would. I
Yeah.
don't like him. Sorry, but I don't.
Have this sword of spite through your heart.
I mean, but here's another question. Is this going to result in the death of all demons and goddesses? Because this is technically
No,
the last
I doubt
goddess, and Meliodas is not going to be able to exist once he arrives. This OG demon is one of the last remaining demons, and Zeldris. So,
Maybe they-
reasonably,
maybe
should
they
any of these
all
people
get
survive at the end of this fight?
Zeldris and Gelda will live on. Please.
I think
I'm
they
begging.
might,
I'm
honestly.
begging. Please.
What if everyone just dies? Elizabeth's on track to die. Meliodas is gonna be stuck in that like time lock. Merlin's like done. And just everyone dies.
Merlin's definitely more.
So you want like a Shakespeare kind of ending where just nobody walks out of this bitch. That'd be cool. Like sometimes
It
those
would be different, but it
Sometimes
would
that
cool.
despair be hitting.
yeah.
Yeah, what if you find out that they're all just playthings on some cosmic board, and they're actually being manipulated by aliens? Or it's Nakaba at the end, and he closes the book, and it's like, well, that story's done. They're dead now.
I am just like Susan pointing out. I'm worried about his vessel. Tarmio's. We have arguments about this to this day, whether Tarmio died or whether his vessel ran out as well. So
They don't have a vessel, isn't it? Just spirit form.
under their vessel, their bodies, yeah, that's what they refer to it as in here.
Well, they still have powers, even though they're like this.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
Yeah, in the vessel that he's in, that Tarmio was in.
His own.
I thought it was Sariel that we were more in turmoil about if he like transferred to a vessel or not.
All three of them didn't have their original bodies. Then once they left it, because their bodies weren't complete, their spirit form or their spirit vessel, as I'm calling it, I guess disintegrates over time. And I guess Sariel, because of I'm not sure if it was because of time or because of the consecutive injuries that he was dying out, but Tarmio wasn't in the same exact state as Sariel, so we don't know if their time lumps are going to be similar. That being said, though, this story is being positioned that this action of Rudeus is going to be his last, at least in this spiritual vessel. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm asking: do you think all of them are going to die? Because that would be the end for the goddesses.
Yeah,
Do you think they're gonna reincarnate or something? Is that what you're trying to lean on?
I'm saying it wouldn't make sense for some demons to be left alive and no goddesses. I think something's
still
going to happen.
have Mile, whatever. So
We said the Celestials.
yeah.
I mean,
They
if
might
that's,
very well.
if that's even like a concept, you know, like if that, or rather, if that concept is even like valid in this argument in the first place.
Yeah, none of them are goddesses. None of them. Maya is the only goddess left beside Rudeus.
Oh, there's Elizabeth.
That bitch
She's
is gonna
like
die.
a special.
that
she's
bitch
like
is
a,
gonna die.
She's a special case. Yeah, and also she's the hallmark of death.
And she's not a goddess. She's a human.
She's a
goddess.
she's a
Is she
special
really
case.
anymore?
She's a special case. She's probably
No,
she's
she's
probably like
human
as
with the
close as
memories
she
of a
can be
goddess.
right now.
Now she's got the wings and everything. So
She's a human, 100%. That's Elizabeth of Leonis.
She's a druid. I mean, if you want to get technical, but I mean, like she has she's reincarnated from a goddess, so it literally like doesn't it's literally like fucking like tomato at this point for her. Apparently, she was stronger than she was as Liz. Apparently, because Liz had was much weaker.
All I'm saying is it's gonna be weird to see an entire race gone when the enemy isn't. But let's see how that plays out though, because it might not be that way.
there's still plenty of demons, just not human-looking ones.
They'll be gone tomorrow.
The human
Tomorrow?
pool.
You're super fodder. Super fodder always, die randomly.
Do you guys think like maybe the fact that demons are running rampant on and just playing with humans and goddesses are now, should everybody just go back to their own separate worlds and just stay there?
Yes. Like it's
or
supposed to
or
fucking
do you
be.
guys believe in the mixed? Like everybody should have a chance to live in their
I
own
think they
place.
should be mixed.
I don't think
That's what
they
the
should
story's
be
been
mixed.
showing so far.
No. I feel like it should be the way it was, but just with the fact that the demons are back, but they're in the underworld, and the goddesses are back, and they're in the celestial realm, and just keep them there. It's like, okay, you guys can, like, sure, there's a way to like get to wherever you need to go, but just know that it's like, like people will fight you if you try to like fuck around in some shit. It's literally like how the humans, the giants, and the fairies. Like, the humans won't fuck with the giants or the fairies for real. And when they do, I mean, normally like they're met with like some crazy opposition. I mean, I'm pretty sure you all can agree what happens when like one fairy or like one giant goes after a couple of humans. It's kind of unfair.
Rightfully so in this chapter, Escanor got bodied. He got sent out, and then he encountered Mael. In his defeat, he was uttering that he just wanted his friends Merlin and Meliodas to be protected and saved. So, in the entirety of Escanor, I guess, what do you guys feel about the character? Overall opinions. If we go from top to bottom.
First, he has favorites. What you go, Zars?
I would say overall, pretty simple character. Not that hard to get. I feel like there's more that we don't know about him. I mean, like, from what we got from like Gother, it seems like that's kind of like the bare bones. There might be a bit more in depth that we just don't know. But I mean, overall, like, I don't have too much of a problem with him. Like everyone else says, like, like him as like how strong he sometimes gets kind of old after a while. But again, like you said in this chapter, we saw him rightfully finally take some really good licks. So overall, I don't really mind him. He's just overall badass. I liked him more when like in his very first appearance. That's when I liked him at his most, because he that was like a nice young Escanor. You just didn't know what to expect. That first drop was way too much.
Kishin?
While it was kind of sad to see him defeated, it's the logical way of things, given that he's just getting weaker and weaker as time passes. Probably the biggest blow is that Rita very well might not be usable anymore at this point. So, which I thought it was Rosa on the blade. I've never actually looked at it that much. But I think it's the Supreme Deity, actually. Which, how the hell did they make that on the blade?
Well, it's not guaranteed it's a deity.
It kind of looks like it. Maybe a simplified version of it, but whatever the case. I hadn't really looked at it that closely until this chapter where we see it just chipping away.
Can I ask you a question, Kishin?
Well,
okay, let me ask you this then. Who do you think created the at least Rita? Who do you think who do you believe would have created Rita, or at least would have like the ability to do so?
I haven't the foggiest clue.
Because,
I mean, it's been fairly vague about, where the King of Leonis got them in the first place. Like, presumably he procured the ingredients or the materials for them, but it's like, some of these are very overpowered items. Like, who has the skill to do anything with them?
Because what I'm thinking is that, like, just like how like the seal of Eternal Darkness was made by like a giant, probably using some crazy magic. You don't know, like, you don't even know, like, maybe like I don't know, it's like crafted by like the goddess clan, and it was just something that like they gave to the humans. Probably figured, hey, someone might be able to lift this up or do something with it.
Oh,
Because think about it, right? Because I've had people like tell me that like they are made for the sins, and it was like, as for it being damaged, I don't know.
I mean, given what it's able to do, store the power of sunshine. Maybe this is a weapon that Mal never wanted to use, and maybe you're right. It was something they were given.
What's up, Fairy?
When it comes to Escanor, like, I didn't know what to think of him in the beginning because he just seemed like a overpowered character, and he has been throughout the series, but there's been like slight progression with him, and honestly he's like one of my favorite characters, and I think this chapter was needed. I think we needed to have that scare of him like almost dying in order to appreciate like how far he's come too, because if he would have just been on the same level this whole time, like it wouldn't have made that much of a difference. And I think it's all going to tie in with Mael in the end. But I am wondering where Rita comes from now that you guys are mentioning it, and like how that came into his possession, and like what the goddesses necessarily think of him. I don't know. There's a lot going on with Escanor.
Okay, so like I don't really like tropes that much. I mean, they work. Archetypes are fine, but the badass, the rival, or the person who kind of acts independently from the main cast, but they kind of mess with them. Like your Zaraki Kenpachis, your Tojo, Hibari, Zebra from Toriko, those type of characters. I usually take a liking to them, and I always thought that Escanor was one of the best uses of said trope. Like he just brings the hype, and for a while I thought like Nabaka handled them like pretty perfectly, until maybe a little bit later it got a bit much. But like. I feel like if we got like the story, every sin has their like backstory of how they got their sin or whatever. I think we need that level of characterization to fully understand how he at least came to be present time, which we don't have. I don't think we have Merlin's either. Are they the only two we're missing?
In terms of backstory?
Yeah, like Bad, like the story like with him and Elaine, and then you have the one with like Diane. Yeah, like are we missing? Are those two the only we're missing?
I think so.
Because we have Galthers, I know. We have. Do you have Kings? I think we have Kings.
He's kind of been sprinkled in others.
Okay, but I feel like if we had more of that, I can comment on his literal character more. But really, at this point, he's been kind of like the plot device. Just like when
he is the Juggernaut.
When you need him to fight someone and to punch thing really hard, he punch thing super hard. So that's what he's there for. It is generally exciting for the most part, but it is nice to see him now kind of get help. He's like the X Factor of the Sins. I feel like he's like the weakest and strongest member. Maybe not anymore. That's changed, but for a long time that's how it was. And he talks really good. I like how he talks shit, because like it's so condescending and sometimes like really polite. But it's like, but he's striking a nerve because he's like who's this guy? Like, well, yeah, I like this Scanner, but. I would like a bit more.
I sleep.
In terms of depth.
Now, do you guys think the author's saving that for if something happens to him and Merlin, like to tie in all of those loose ends, or because he's obviously saving like Escanor's like background and all of that for something, right? He wouldn't leave us like that because that's like really stupid because we don't know anything about Escanor really. You know what I mean?
The thing is, like, it's obvious that we have to get more info because the mystery around him has been so big, but I don't have faith that we're gonna get exactly as we think we're gonna get. Like how we've gotten for the other sins, like for Bonds, for example. Like Bonds comes full circle, we learn the truth about it, major details about it, an exact actual revealing of the backstory. But I'm not sure if Escanor's backstory really matters that much. All we really need is to know how he got his power, and then that's why it's like what I was trying to dig deep to find like more hope for his character, and even with the Merlin thing, she's basically already said that she has no interest in him for real. Like it's not that, and
we don't know for sure.
The fact that like she has more ambition to use him as a research subject, and that's the majority of her interest, makes it even worse.
I think she's closing herself off intentionally.
Same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's big
as he
fish
spends
to
the rest
fry
of it.
right now.
Still
Love
making
can
it,
wait.
yeah, still making it disappointing for his outcome. So I don't know, man. We could get more.
Yeah.
Kisa?
Oh, did Soraya, did you go already?
Oh no, I did go yet.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you did. Go ahead, girl.
Well, I think it's good. He's taken the loss. It's going to be humbling for him. He wasn't able to protect his friends and such. And now he's with Miles, so perhaps he can somehow unlock the true powers of Sunshine, with whatever. I don't know. I just see them two together, and it's just, to me, something's going to happen. So I'm just going to wait and see. But as for Escanor in general, I just, not knowing much about his character and not having the backstory makes it hard for me to feel anything for him other than amusement for his lines. And that's just how I feel, though. I like him, but I don't like. He's not a favorite of mine. And I'm done. Kisai can go.
Cool. Man, I feel like where Escanor is just is at a good spot where I don't really need to know more, man. Just be that guy that's just always gonna come through with the witty ass one-liners and be that prideful sin that you stand for. Like, I feel like when authors maybe have so much that they could do with characters, that as soon as they try to attempt to go into something, we may hit some weird bumps, and it may either make us like the character or dislike them even more so. And I know when we got so many different sins and we had so many different backstories, I'm pretty sure we could say that the strongest is like Kings and Meliodas is of course, and maybe after that you may say maybe Vaughn, but then the rest there's only a little bit of information or just not as much coverage over it. So if the author doesn't want to go too far into it, I'm gonna be like, you know what, cool. I still like Escanor, so I guess if you just keep it at this note, I'm not gonna ever dislike him.
Yeah, true.
So I guess that's how I feel.
You're not. It's whatever, bro. It's whatever. I guess the whole mystery thing is indeed a way to is indeed a literature strategy. So that's how. I guess we could just take it as that. I just want more from the nigga. He had so much potential, and it seems like it will not be fulfilled.
Oh, we don't know yet. Just give it time. Might seem like the final battle, but it's not.
All right.
It's not. Don't worry, it's not.
Okay, we'll definitely have one more, but
Crystal ball, are you looking through?
More than that.
You don't know how much longer there is. It's a few months still, so.
So, to help protect Merlin in completing the Chrono spell, Rudisil protects her. Strength feat comparison, or what did you guys, or did you guys draw from this anything, or
Well, he's definitely not as strong without a vessel, so.
It was a magic feat because it's like I blocked your darkness swords with art. Haha. Got him.
Which that's an interesting way to use arc.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen anything like that before, so that was kind of cool.
I did note the way he used to fight 3,000 years ago, and back in the day, he could actually dissipate some darkness that I think Mon Speed shot at him with just his hand, just by magic canceling. That's how powerful he was.
In this podcast, several of the people here today, that by the time this fight was over, that Rudisil will have the most techniques done, and all of them, the most shown, and he is steadily on that road, steadily. So
and then Merlin is plus 18 spells in 3 chapters.
Here we go.
No, forget it.
Lost chaos control.
It's like, hold my beer.
No, that wasn't the real thing.
You want techniques?
We always end up here.
All that shit.
Essence of positivity. Essence of positivity.
But yeah, it was cool to see that new technique. It was a cool picture too, because you got Marlon in the back scene where her titties out and shit, and then you got the shining lights of Rudisell, and it looks badass. It's thumbnail worthy. I guess we already went through, like, do you guys give a fuck about Escanor or not?
I like didn't like his line, his like final line. I have to. Can you read it again? Did he mention everybody else or just the captain?
Like I said, he's got favorites.
Well, I mean, when you look at it, it's like in this situation, he's literally dealing with like Merlin and like the captain. Like he's protecting Merlin and literally trying to save the captain.
They were the first ones though. Like they were the first ones to show him compassion and acceptance.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
And as far as he knows, the others are like
he
miles away.
Fuck with the other
He clearly do because I mean, like, let's be honest now, right? Like, you had Gallon in them.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Come on now.
It's a joke.
Obviously, fuck with you. I'm fucking with you. I'm serious. You better be fucking around Naya.
I forgot exactly what somebody brought up to me. But in consequence to Escanor's dialogue, and then the immediate appearance of Mael. I'll read verbatim what he says. But whether I have to give up this power of the sun or my very life, I don't mind. Just please someone, anyone. Protect the captain and Merlin. Save them.
Well, there goes his powers.
I don't think so.
I hope not.
But I hope not. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to see it.
Well, we gotta address it
It
because
just seems so convenient.
This is obviously a reference to that. Like, there's a reason why that was said in the page immediately after that was a picture of Mael. So
they want you to think that.
I could definitely see like a resonance. Like maybe he channels it into Mal. And then Mal's the one who kind of does it. It's like, okay, buddy, you're kind of banged up. Let me take over for a bit.
Channel into? When have we seen niggas channel into other niggas?
Well, considering that Mal contained this power for God knows how long, I think he could take a cruel sun to the face and absorb that shit.
I'm not saying absorb it, but like, you know, like, kind of like how they do their combination magic type dealio. Like, I don't know, it's like supplies them with like some energy, and from there, I don't know, they're vibing or some shit.
When has anybody done that?
Well, who's to say this wouldn't be the first time we see it?
Definitely a possibility. But
I mean, it's a grace. They probably work a little bit different than typical magic.
I still want to see it, like him like unlock like the true powers of the sun. So I'm just holding out for Escanor.
I'm going
Miles
full
there,
red dwarf.
But like I don't want him to regain it. I don't want Miles to regain it, even though he's kind of redeemed himself slightly.
He's redeemed himself?
Slightly.
You're ridiculous.
He's been working for the good guys now.
You're ridiculous.
There wasn't much for him to redeem, honestly.
There wasn't much for him to redeem? You're ridiculous.
He
No,
was
I'm
kind of
serious.
brainwashed, so it wasn't really his fault. And before
I'm not
that,
saying
he
that
was
there
just
was
following
anything
his
This
for him
is
to
brother's
redeem, but let's
footsteps,
ridiculous.
No,
I'm glad none of you are
He was like
judges.
his brother
hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not saying there's nothing
Electric
for him to
chair.
redeem. Okay, fine. Alright, fine. Execution. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Do
In
it.
the
Do it.
stocks.
I'm ready. My body ready.
Death by Tide Pods.
Oh,
Oh
no.
God, now please let that separate.
Miles didn't like. Okay, fair enough. Miles had to like acknowledge the fact that like he was kind of blindly doing things like like causing like killing innocent like people who weren't really like a part of the war and everything. All right, fine, fair enough. Like him, like he knows that kind of like how his brother kind of did the same thing this chapter. But at the same time, it's like that was like about it. It was about it. He's like, okay, all right, life bites you in the ass. Like don't do fucked up atrocities, and you won't be like you won't have like horrible things happen to you later on in life. Okay, solid. But other than that, it's like him being jealous of Meliodas wasn't necessarily anything wrong. Like everything else about his character, there wasn't really much. Like
Bro.
he's kind of a success story outside of like the fucked up parts of his life.
We are not going to just ignore the fact that after he got the commandments and after King started to talk to him and after he was inside the memories with God or whatever, that we found out he clearly understood what was going on. He clearly understood he was killing those people. He clearly understood that. He clearly understood what was going on. There is no remorse. There is no forgiveness. This nigga killed thousands of people, and then thousands of his own people. How is he redeemable?
Whom still we talking about?
Male?
Wow.
Oh, I sleep.
I think that was just how the spell manipulated his mind.
Yeah,
And, like, it was acting of his own, you know, against his own accord. So it's like he was saying
It's like he was conscious, but it's not.
he was in the
him.
back seat. That's literally what's
Yeah.
happening. He was in the back seat. Someone
It's
else
kind of
was
like that
clearly,
sleep paralysis stuff. Like, you know what's going on around you, but you can't do it.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
that's
Like,
not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about before the curse happened to him to get him into that state. He clearly, he was killing demons and all the people that were wrong to purify them. That's what he was claiming as. But after
It's
the
really
fact,
no different than.
but hold on. After the
soldiers.
fact, when King was reading his mind, and then when he was in, when Gauther went into his mind and started to discuss with him, we found out that he understood what was wrong. He understood that those people he was killing them. He knew that he was killing them. He had, I have to kill them to purify them, but he indeed knew that he was killing them. Milo knew that, so there is no justification of killing thousands of people to purify them into a better or different form, like he said verbatim. That's
Then you
genocide.
never want to watch Fire Force.
hey man,
Wait,
hey man. Here's what I'm gonna say. Child soldiers are scary. Okay, child soldiers are scary. Remember, this kid used to look like some little ass prepubescent little kid, and then grew up to be a grown ass man during like a holy war. Whatever you tell a war, they're gonna listen to for as long as they can survive. Look at them.
So is there like no redemption for Meliodas too? Because he's killed plenty of people in his time as well. So
Yo,
is there redemption for the characters? No, they're all terrible people.
My name.
There's some stuff for him to get old.
I know you asked me about Meliodas. That's the worst motherfucker in this series, bro.
True.
Fuck that.
But
nigga.
you haven't said your favorite phrase for like the last, I forget how many. Oh, that no good dirty demon.
Hey, that's what he is. It's the truth. Like, there is no doubt about it. He was that way originally. He's committed actions even though he's trying to not be that way, but he still does the same exact shit. How can you redeem somebody like that? But we're going to.
Elizabeth out.
So who are we rooting for in this story? They're just all terrible people.
Yeah, honestly, they're all...
It all goes down to who does the least amount of horrible shit.
And Ben.
It's crazy. I'm rooting for that farmer who was talking to his son who didn't shave the sheep. Like, I'm rooting for him because honestly, he's not a part of the slave war at all. If a demon comes over and like fucks up his sheep, I'll be tight. Like that guy, all right?
That is a little
support
panel
your
I
farmers.
forgot to.
Remember your farmers, all right? They're the ones that get you all the shit that you actually need, like to actually survive. Like I'm focused on the farmers. You always focus on these other characters. Side characters are always important. Remember that.
But hopefully, the next chapter we get we get what we're looking for. Let's go down the line and
are you on the page? By the way, are you on the page right now? The last page.
Yeah.
What's the next chapter called again?
The Salvation of the Sun.
Salvation of the Sun.
A scanner about to do something stupid.
Stupid.
Maya about to be like, you're not using the grace. This and that, the other, and something about to turn into the sun or something. I don't know.
He's about to open the realm of God, heal up, come back out.
He about to put the sun back at his peak.
Shit.
That's literally what it'll be. Because that nigga, like we said before, bro, we have never seen Mayo in a state of weakness, bit. He's going to show him how to fucking be at the pinnacle at all times. That'll be the shit. Like, yeah. That's, honestly, that's the most likely prediction.
Also, to be double sunned up on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you guys think of predictions for next chapter?
Let's see how this... Let's see the salvation. Let's see it. I'm hype. I'm ready. I didn't think that these two would actually meet like this. Like he literally like kind of fell into the guy's arms. Like we'll see. We'll see how this pans out. I'm actually kind of interested now.
Harry?
My turn.
Yeah.
I like I said, I'd kind of like to see like maybe them kind of combining their powers or like Sunshine being channeled into Mal so that he can at least do something with it, because obviously he has way more experience and his body was essentially, or the grace was made for him. So he can use it the most effective and efficient way possible. So maybe kind of like Izuku and Eri were, like she was like healing him and like just being a little power backpack. Maybe that's what Escanor becomes to Mal. That would make my day. That's about
That
all
works.
I really have to say for any predictions.
What's up, Fairy?
Yeah, I think I'm just like agreeing with what everyone's saying. Like, I'm just looking forward to how Mael and Escanor are gonna pull off this thing with the sun. I'm wondering what's gonna happen once the rest of the Sins get there, because I mean, like, is this Elizabeth's last day, or is like quote unquote like tomorrow Elizabeth's next day?
Still no
like
verification.
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering like what she's gonna do when she gets there, because all she can't really do much. You know what I mean? So is it gonna be like a lot of like
she can
just
be the
talking? Yeah, I'm just wondering what's gonna happen when everyone like
with the fucking, what was it, the Trials of Jonah, smack that nigga Meliodas, throw him back and shit. Zelda's just gonna run up on her. She's gonna fly up and hit her with that fucking invigorate shit, and then he's gonna fucking like get disoriented. She's gonna come down, kick the fuck out that nigga, and she's gonna grab that nigga's sword, run up against the OG demon, clash with that nigga for a good 4 or 5 swipes, back up.
Who's this?
You have some big expectations.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
I can't see that.
I would cry. I would cry. Like, yo, who let this? Yo, where were the editors for this?
Like,
and then what? Does she make a giant?
Chapters, but I would go hysterical laughter.
And then maybe she just makes a giant arc blade and cuts the cocoon over and is like, "I'm getting my man out of."
Bro, she did it before. Bro, she wrote a big ass arc blade before, bro. She gonna do that shit again, bro. Straight up facts, bro.
I mean,
that's what I thought about it.
You know what? She can do these things, but it's like she doesn't, and it's like, yo, like I thought you were like dummy strong. Like, what are you doing? And it's like, remember, she can like create like that gigantic shark / whale / big creation out of.
Nigga, that's Trials of Jonah.
Bro, are you really scared about like Meliodas in a cocoon? You're just gonna swallow him up anyway. Shit.
And then once Meliodas gets back up from that big ass fucking slap from the Trials of Jonah, she's finna speed blitz that nigga. Omega arc her right hand, slap the fuck at that nigga again, and then fucking hop on top of him, straddle him like she's about to ride that dick, and then fucking what's that shit called? Let there be light in the nigga's chest. Pop the commandments out, and then we're out of there.
And here we are.
We're out of there, bro. Taizai's done. That's chapter 305. Let's hop out of there.
All she had to do, chapter 300. Put the thing on him.
That thing on him.
The thing was put on him. It's over. Arthur woke up. Damn, y'all. Damn, we're over. Yeah, bro, we done. Shit.
Yeah. Very last panel is the supreme deity be like, "Damn, I thought I'd have more airtime."
Oh damn! Yeah.
Shit.
She's like holding up the end sign and grumbling like Marge.
Arthur at the time be all like pleased with the part 2.
Anybody else have any predictions before we head up?
I just want to see everybody show up again, like
where's
Diane,
Ben?
Elizabeth, and King. Just want them all to be
with the
there
gang, Holy Warren.
We still got to get
Ben?
that
with the gang
in canon
Warren.
unity attack or all like 7 deadly sins attack and shit combo shit.
Yeah, it's just
like
called
the
the 7 deadly sins.
God, that movie was ass. Oh my lord.
That shit was super ass.
I did
We
like
really
the
should have done a
attack,
stream
I
on
thought
that.
was cool.
Did you like their hidden technique, or were you not fun with it at all?
That was cool, but the movie sucks.
Oh.
The action was good, but yeah, the plot wasn't the best.
I don't even think the action was that good.
Really?
No,
That's what I expect from these movies, though. Like, I just have to sit through a bunch of nonsense and then I get a good fight scene. I don't even think I got it.
Did you not like Pump versus Bond? Because I actually enjoyed that one.
That was good.
I like the death aspect.
It wasn't like bad. It just like it wasn't movie level good. Does that make sense? Like most of these anime movies, they step it up to such a quality and degree. I just didn't think the movie had that.
That DBZ movie that had movie level fight scenes. That
yeah.
I need to watch that.
That shit was
Oh, what, the new Broly one or?
All right,
which
guys,
one?
but we're gonna see you guys later on for 297. This is a spectacular chapter. Unfortunately, this does mean that we're not gonna get to see any more Margaret titties. We know how Nakaba gets with this shit. If Russo is inside of Margaret, we're not gonna see the titties. So one less set of titties to admire.
Hey, we got 2 pairs coming in.
Oh, yeah, we do got 2 pairs coming in. We do got 2. So the hopes are looking great.
Potentially through the Supreme Deity. Potentially through.
Boob report is looking good for future boobage.